Alright, let's be real. Your phone is practically vibrating off the table, the newsfeed is screaming a new crisis every 5 minutes, and your chest. It feels like it's just one more email, one more deadline, one more thing away from imploding. Sound familiar? Take a beat. Just pause. Breathe. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to equip you with something truly powerful, something portable and profoundly effective, a spiritual first aid kit. We're talking about 10 Bible verses, ancient wisdom, that you can grab onto right now to yank that panic level down, from a screeching 10, all the way to a manageable, breathable 2. You ready? Let's dive in. Now, I'm nobody's pastor, okay? And I'm certainly not claiming to have it all figured out. I'm just the guy who, not too long ago, found himself hunched over a cold, forgotten coffee, tears blurring the screen as I desperately Googled how to survive Monday. It was a rough one. But you know what? These very verses didn't just save that particular Monday, they've become my go-to anchors in the swirling storms of everyday life. And here's the kicker, it's not just faith stuff. There's actual science hinting at the power of these practices. The American Psychological Association, not exactly known for its theological endorsements, has noted that even brief sacred readings can drop cortisol levels, that's your stress hormone, by up to 18%. 18%. That's a significant sigh of relief. So, whether you call it spiritual practice, mindfulness, or just plain common sense, these aren't just words on a page. They're 10 verses, 10 lifelines, ready to be deployed. Let's roll. Verse 1 John 14 verse 27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. This isn't just a nice thought, it's a radical declaration. Think about it, the world's peace is often conditional, right? It's the absence of conflict, the temporary calm before the next storm, or maybe just a fleeting moment when everything finally goes your way. But Jesus' peace? It's different. It's an internal state, a profound calm that can exist even when the external world is absolutely losing its mind. It's a gift, freely given, not earned or dependent on your circumstances. So, when your pulse starts doing a drum solo in your chest, when your thoughts are racing like a runaway train, I want you to say this out loud. Don't just think it, articulate it. There's something incredibly grounding about hearing your own voice speak a truth that's bigger than your immediate worry. I've slapped this verse on a sticky note and stuck it right on my car dashboard. And you know what? Traffic still stinks. The guy in the next lane is still probably cutting me off. But my heart rate? It no longer redlines. It's like a tiny, powerful whisper in the midst of the honking chaos, reminding me that there's a deeper peace available, regardless of the road rage brewing outside my window. It's about choosing to inhabit that peace, to actively receive it, rather than waiting for the world to deliver it. And trust me, the world is a notoriously unreliable delivery service for genuine peace. Verse 2, Philippians 4 verse 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. This verse is practically a masterclass in stress management, isn't it? It starts with a direct command, do not be anxious about anything. Easier said than done, I know. But then it gives us the toolkit, the practical steps, prayer, petition, which is just a fancy word for asking, and crucially, thanksgiving. This isn't just about dumping your worries, it's about actively shifting your perspective. Here's my personal strategy. Before I even begin to list out everything that's going wrong, everything that's making me anxious, I force myself to write down 3 things that are going right. It could be as simple as, I have coffee, the sun is shining, or, I got 5 minutes of quiet. This act of gratitude isn't about ignoring the problems, it's about creating a foundation of perspective. It reminds your brain that even in the midst of struggle, there are still blessings, still reasons to be thankful. And then you lay out your worries, your petitions, to God. It's like this: you're not just complaining, you're engaging in a conversation from a place of trust and recognition of good things. And the promise? The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. This peace isn't logical, it defies explanation. It shows up like a cosmic bouncer at the door of your mind, standing firm against the intrusive thoughts, the what-ifs, and the relentless chatter of anxiety. It protects your inner world, allowing you to navigate the external chaos with a surprising, unshakable calm. It's a peace that doesn't just calm you down, it actively defends your mental space. Verse 3, Isaiah 26 verse 3. You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Perfect peace. Doesn't that just sound heavenly? But what does it mean to have your mind stayed on God? It means intentional focus. It means choosing where you direct your precious mental energy. Think of it like this: what you focus on, what you feed, grows. If you constantly feed the fear, the worry, the sensational headlines, guess what gets bigger? The fear, the worry, the sensational headlines. But if you intentionally direct your focus, if you stay your mind on something greater, something constant, something trustworthy, that's where perfect peace takes root. I've made this a non-negotiable practice. When I feel the mental overwhelm creeping in, I switch my phone to airplane mode. Not for an hour, not even for 30 minutes, sometimes just for 8 minutes. Why 8? Because research suggests that's roughly how long cortisol, that nasty stress hormone, needs to start dipping when you intentionally shift focus and engage in calming activities. During those 8 minutes, I replay this verse in my head, almost like a favorite Spotify track on repeat. I breathe it in. I let the words resonate: you keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. It's an active redirection, a conscious choice to disengage from the noise and re-engage with a foundational truth. It's a powerful mental reset button that reminds me that my inner state isn't solely dictated by my external circumstances, but by where I choose to anchor my thoughts. Verse 4, Psalm 46 verse 1 and 2. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. This verse paints such a vivid, almost apocalyptic picture, doesn't it? Though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. It's talking about the absolute worst-case scenario, the kind of chaos that feels like the very foundations of your world are crumbling. And yet, the declaration stands: God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. A refuge isn't just a nice place, it's a safe haven, a shelter from the storm, a place where you can find protection and rest when everything else is raging. And strength? Not just physical might, but resilience, fortitude, the inner power to keep going when you feel utterly drained. I remember when my basement flooded. It was a nightmare. Water everywhere, sentimental items ruined, the smell, it was overwhelming. I stood on the last dry stair, feeling that familiar knot of panic tightening in my stomach. And then, almost instinctively, this verse bubbled up. I quoted it out loud, probably sounding a bit frantic. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Did the water magically disappear? No, it did not. Did the plumber show up instantly? Also no. But something shifted inside me. The immediate, paralyzing fear lessened. It gave me a place to stand, a solid ground beneath my feet, even as the literal ground around me was soaked. Faith, you see, doesn't cancel the to-do list. It doesn't magically make the problems vanish. What it does, gloriously, is give you an unshakable place to stand while you do the to-do list, while you tackle the problems. It's the difference between flailing in the flood and standing firm, knowing you're not alone. Verse 5, Matthew 11 verse 28 to 30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Oh, this one is a deep breath in word form. How often do we feel weary? Not just physically tired, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually exhausted. We're carrying so many invisible burdens, the weight of expectations, the pressure to perform, the worries for our loved ones, the never-ending mental load. Jesus isn't just inviting us to take a break, he's offering a profound exchange, your heavy backpack for his light one. Imagine that heavy backpack. What's inside yours today? Is it anxiety about money? Guilt over a past mistake? Fear of the future? The exhaustion of constantly striving? Now, picture yourself literally setting that backpack down. Feel the relief in your shoulders, the straightening of your spine. Then, imagine picking up something new, something that feels incredibly light, almost like a handful of feathers. That's the swap Jesus is offering. His yoke isn't an additional burden. It's a partnership, a way of living that aligns with grace and ease, not constant striving. Try this right now, exhale slowly, like you're physically setting that heavy backpack down. Feel the tension leave your body. Then, inhale deeply, like you're picking up those feathers, taking in lightness and rest. Do it 3 times. Feel that shift. That's just a tiny taste of the rest he promises. You don't have to carry it all. You really don't. Verse 6, Romans 15 verse 13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. This verse is a beautiful cascade of blessings, starting with the God of hope. In chaotic times, hope can feel like a rare and fragile commodity. But here, hope isn't just a wish, it's a divine attribute, something God is and gives. Notice the order here, it's crucial: joy and peace as you trust in him. Trust first, feeling second. This can feel counterintuitive, right? We often want to feel peaceful or joyful before we trust. But this verse suggests that the act of placing our trust, even when our feelings aren't quite there yet, is the conduit through which joy and peace flow. To cultivate this trust, I keep what I call a proof list on my phone. It's nothing fancy, just a running note where I jot down 10, sometimes 20, times God has shown up for me, times he's come through. It could be a big answer to prayer, a small unexpected kindness, a moment of clarity, or just the strength to get through a tough day. When doubt creeps in, or when I feel like I'm flailing, I pull out that list and read through it. It's a tangible reminder, a personal history of faithfulness. Reading it reboots my trust, and then, surprisingly, the emotional peace and even a little joy start to follow. It's like reminding myself, oh yeah, he's done it before, he'll do it again. This isn't blind faith. It's faith informed by experience, building a reservoir of hope that allows you to overflow, even when the world feels dry. Verse 7, Proverbs 3 verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. This one hits hard because, let's be honest, we love to lean on our own understanding, don't we? Our intellect, our logic, our carefully constructed plans. But sometimes, our understanding is heavily influenced by fear, by limited perspective, by what the world tells us is normal or achievable. My own understanding once told me that credit card debt was just a normal part of adulting, an inevitable consequence of modern life. It felt like an insurmountable mountain. But God's math? His wisdom suggested otherwise. It spoke of freedom, of peace that wasn't tied to a monthly statement. This verse became my battle cry. I literally stuck a small printout of it in my wallet, right next to my credit cards. It was a constant, visual reminder. And then, I started making different choices. I cut up one of those cards, a symbolic act of trusting something beyond my own flawed financial logic. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't instant, but slowly, steadily, that balance melted away faster than my skepticism. It taught me that sometimes, that a straight path isn't the one we logically devise, it's the one we discover when we surrender our limited understanding and trust in a wisdom far greater than our own. It's an invitation to let go of the need to control every outcome and instead, align our decisions with a divine compass. Verse 8, 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 16. Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with you all. This isn't just a verse, it's a powerful blessing, a divine impartation of peace. Notice the scope, at all times and in every way. It's not just for Sundays or quiet moments. It's for the chaotic Tuesday morning, for the stressful presentation, for the unexpected crisis. And it comes from the Lord of peace himself. The source is peace itself, the very embodiment of tranquility and order. This verse reminds me that peace isn't something I have to muster up on my own. It's something I can receive, something I can even speak over my circumstances. I've started using this like a spiritual shield. Picture a mom gently spraying lavender mist to calm a fussy child. It's that same intention, that same gentle but firm declaration. I say it over my chaotic grocery run, mentally picturing peace settling over the overflowing aisles and long lines. I speak it over medical appointments, like a biopsy, where fear can easily take root. I whisper it, sometimes silently, sometimes out loud, when my kids are in the throes of a full-blown tantrum, peace, times 3, right now. It's a conscious act of inviting divine peace into the most mundane, and often the most stressful, moments of life. It's acknowledging that peace isn't just an emotion, it's a powerful presence that can transform any situation. Verse 9, Isaiah 41 verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you, do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. If there's one emotion that chaos loves to amplify, it's fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear for our loved ones, fear of what tomorrow might bring. This verse is a direct counterattack against that fear. It's a divine reassurance, a powerful promise of presence and support. Do not fear, for I am with you. The very first half of the verse is enough to cut through the immediate terror. It's a reminder that you are never truly alone, never abandoned to face the storm by yourself. I've used this verse as my internal bodyguard. When that familiar knot of fear starts to tighten, I mumble the first half, do not fear, for I am with you. It's a plea, a remembrance. And then, when I need that extra layer of protection, that sense of being truly upheld, I finish the verse, letting the promise of strength and help wash over me. I remember one particularly terrifying dental procedure, the drill whirring, the smell of antiseptic, the general anxiety of being utterly vulnerable. I just kept mumbling this verse under my breath. And you know what? The hygienist, bless her heart, actually commented that my blood pressure dropped before they even administered the Novocaine. Coincidence? Maybe. But I choose to believe it was the power of those words, the calming presence they invoked, creating an inner sanctuary even in the most uncomfortable of situations. It's a reminder that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the presence of God in the midst of it. Verse 10, Psalm 4 verse 8. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Ah, night chaos. It's a very real thing, isn't it? The quiet hours, when the distractions of the day fade, and suddenly all your anxieties decide to throw a party in your head. Blue light from screens, looming deadlines, the endless reel of what-if scenarios, it all conspires to create that dreaded 2 a.m. doom-scrolling session, where sleep feels like an impossible dream. This verse is my nightly lullaby, my anchor in the pre-sleep storm. It's a declaration, an intentional act of surrender before I close my eyes. I dim the screens, physically disconnecting from the digital noise. I whisper this verse, sometimes multiple times, letting the words sink into the quiet of the room and my mind. And as I do, I picture something truly comforting. I imagine God, gently, lovingly, turning off every single screen in heaven, ensuring a serene, peaceful night. It's a simple, vivid image that helps me transition from the wired reality of the day to a state of trusting rest. And more often than not, I'm out cold in 90 seconds flat, no melatonin needed. It's a powerful reminder that true safety, true rest, comes not from perfect circumstances, but from trusting in the one who holds us securely, even in our sleep. It allows you to release the day's burdens and embrace the gift of restorative rest, knowing you are watched over. So, out of these 10 powerful verses, which one lands hardest for you today? Which one feels like the lifeline you need to grab right now? Drop the number in the comments below, so someone else scrolling through might find exactly what they need, exactly when they need it. And if this little spiritual first aid kit resonated with you, if it brought even a sliver of calm to your day, please do me a favor, share it. Share it with that friend who's currently insisting they're fine, but hasn't genuinely slept since March. Share it with anyone who looks like they could use a moment of peace. Let's spread some calm, shall we? In conclusion, 10 verses, 10 moments of profound truth, and one unwavering promise: the storm is real, absolutely. We're not denying the challenges, the pressure, the sheer overwhelm of modern life. But here's the crucial part: the storm is not the whole story. There's a deeper narrative, a current of peace running beneath the surface of the chaos, waiting for you to tap into it. Don't just hear these verses, try one. Pick the one that spoke to your heart today, commit it to memory, and consciously apply it this week. See what happens when you proactively invite divine peace into your daily grind. And then, please, come back and tell me. Tell me how loud the calm felt. May the God who famously calms the raging seas do the same, powerfully and profoundly, for the waves inside you.